Can Rashee Rice achieve top 10 status in the NFL as a wide receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs this season? We're going to be talking about that in the film room today, breaking down Rashee Rice's limited tape from last season. Of course, he only appeared in 4 games, only 4 snaps in the Los Angeles game against the Chargers. But I do think Rashee Rice really has shown improvement and just kind of added some stability to the wide receiver room in Kansas City. He's kind of been the bright spot over the last couple of years. And if you see from last year, very good grades from PFF. The run blocking is one that was up and down, and we didn't obviously get to see that play out through the course of the season with the knee injury. But the 68.8 against the Bengals, I think that's a bright spot in all of this. Kind of mid 54.1 against Atlanta, and then the 31.1 was not good against Baltimore in week 1. But just kind of going off of the rankings where he would be at from last year, 85.1 total for the season was his grade, which would have put him right behind Jamar Chase at number 11 in the league. Recently, I've seen him kind of number 15 ranked around in that area. For wide receivers for fantasy-wise. We're going to be focusing obviously on the X's and O's here, but I do think that he could be a viable option, especially if everybody can stay healthy with Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy, and we'll see what Jalen Royals brings to the table as well for the Chiefs in his rookie season. But I think with the weapons around him, he is going to be able to really take a leap forward, which we would have been able to see more of. 84.9 in 2023 PFF grade, 85.1 in 2024. And, maybe if we saw a larger sample size, maybe he takes more of a, step forward for the Chiefs. So let's get straight into this film and start breaking it down. So play 1 comes from week 1 against Baltimore at home. And I feel like, week 1, Andy kind of always has a more vanilla playbook, and especially against a team that you figure you're going to see later down the line in the playoffs. And it really worked. I mean, Rashee Rice was able to show off his route running ability and, be in the slot and kind of show off some of his talents there. And we're going to see a lot of it in this film breakdown. Obviously, the limited film part of that, but I really want to put an emphasis on the route running, especially in this part where with Baltimore, a lot of good things that they did. And right here, really, you just get both of the zones that are supposed to be in the middle, like pretty much a cover 3 right here where you've got a couple guys going deep, kind of covering the middle up here on this safety, and then see how quick we can, how good my mouse work is here. You've got a flat out here, flat here, and then you have your 2 guys covering the zone over the middle. Well, what happens here now for the Chiefs is Kelsey's just going to run and just curl right back down right there, where Rashee Rice is going to come up pretty much with a slant over the top, but both guys take the bait with Kelsey, and a little pump fake from Patrick Mahomes I think helps that out as well right here and makes it easy for Rashee Rice to just go over the top. So quick Patrick Mahomes with a quick little pump fake right there, and then that opens this play up. You see both of these guys have, or Kelsey has both of their attention, and then if your assignment's the flat, you can't really run away from this guy. We got one up here in no man's land pretty much because Rashee Rice is cutting back towards the middle of the field instead of like a corner route or something like that to go back his way. So now you pretty much get an opening right there. And, I mean, Patrick Mahomes is already in throwing motion, gets it away, make a man miss. And, hey, that 4.5 40 time coming in to play right there, getting all the way down to the 41-yard line of the Baltimore Ravens. And I believe this was the opening drive of the game. The Chiefs had a very similar opening drive against Buffalo where they ran the same thing, except Hollywood Brown was right there to catch the slant out of the slot. And so Rashee Rice, I do think that the route running, again, just to put an emphasis on that, and I'll show both views one more time. So we'll go back here again, see Kelsey turn around, just sit down. I mean, that's classic, right? That's a classic Mahomes to Kelsey. Both of these guys are like, oh, you're not getting us with that. Well, actually, I got Rashee Rice running a slant right behind it that neither one of you guys can get to. Mahomes threads the needle to him. And then now from this view to kind of get a little bit different of an angle of this, just to see kind of where everyone is at in relation, because you got Kelce right here. He sees the ball, knows Rashee Rice has got that slant behind him. Perfect. Little juke move. Gets Rashee Rice on the other side of the field, and the Chiefs offense moving. Chiefs start out trips to the right on this one with Kelce alone on the left side. They're going to face a similar kind of zone on this play where it really just works out to be man on one side on Kelce's side and then a zone on the other side, which does not work out well for the Ravens. They're going to send Rashee Rice in motion, and he's just going to have a short crosser over the middle of the field. And, I mean, look at the space right here that Rashee Rice has to make a catch and keep it moving all the way down to about the 35. So looking at this, what basically ends up happening, I think you get man on Kelce's side because you've got Kelce taking a deep corner route where you get a flat route. They have two guys come off of the line of scrimmage that come back into coverage, and essentially that linebacker just gets too deep on this before he lets it go for the safety with Worthy. And kind of going back to what I talked about preseason, and we'll get into that with Xavier Worthy. He'll be the next film breakdown that I do, but that a lot of teams really showed a lot of respect to the speed, and I think that's part of that right here. So other guys, both on these first two plays, are really helping Rashee Rice get wide open on these plays, but also the route running. I mean, he doesn't take it too deep, does a good job just getting across the middle of the field. He sees the linebacker getting into his coverage and is able to just work his way straight across the field. And again, just like on the last play, didn't get too deep to where the safety is going to be involved. Does a very good job of, just making space for himself, being in the right space. It's what we've seen Kelce do for years. And I think that, Rashee Rice, even though he doesn't, actually start out of the slot on this play, that I do really like him in the slot. He does, well, technically, he starts out over there on the inside of this trips, then goes outside, and you've got your two best deep threats. So I do understand why Baltimore is, really respecting Justin Watson. I don't know if he's got the best speed in the world, but he has been the best deep threat for the Kansas City Chiefs over the last couple of years that can actually catch the ball when it's thrown deep. So they have to respect that, and along with Xavier Worthy, who's in his first game of his NFL career, but ran, what was it, like a 4.21 40 at the Combine or something like that. And they have to respect it, and they do. Rashee Rice just comes through underneath. They get everybody, moving out, which probably, I know it's crazy a Chiefs fan pointing something like this out, but probably a hold right there on Juwan Taylor. And that might have been what the flag was for, I'm assuming. It was a little further up the field, though, so I don't know. But either way, Rashee Rice, again, just showing his short, quick little route running. And, this game wasn't, a great show of the route tree necessarily from Rashee Rice, but it showed he can go over the middle underneath and make some plays happen, and especially the rack yardage. I mean, yards after the catch. Right here, he catches this thing at about the 48-yard line, heads up to, what about the 36, 35-yard line right there? So, I mean, and we saw that exactly on the first play, same thing, where he absolutely took it to the other side of the field for a lot of yak yardage. Hey, if you're enjoying this film breakdown, make sure you hit that like button for me. It really helps the video, helps push this out to more Chiefs fans, more football fans to see this content, and hit that subscribe button for me if you enjoy the content. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers before the NFL season starts. I really think we can do it. We're getting close. I really appreciate all the love and support that you guys have shown for these film breakdowns this offseason. Let's get back into this breakdown. These next couple of plays, more of the same with Rashee Rice back in the slot. He's just going to run a quick slant route over the middle here. You have a pretty quick out or in breaking route by Xavier Worthy, I believe. We've got a couple of out routes right here. And this play is just designed to be more of the same for the Chiefs. Fly route on the outside to just get the ball out quick. See, very, short, quick breaking routes right here. And Rashee Rice just beats the linebacker over the middle to an easy completion, really. But again, just showing the man-beating possibilities in the slot, especially if you're going over the middle against some of these linebackers that aren't going to cover as well as the DBs, but just a quick, easy slant over the middle of the field, beats number 40, a little bit of yak yardage right there. And again, more of the same. We're going to change up the formation, but more of the same. Here's the last play. Look at the formation again. You got 2 on the bottom right here, 3 to the top. We're just going to flip that on the next play. And this one right here, I think really shows the route running ability of Rashee Rice. This move right here, got him. Same exact linebacker. He's looking to cover that slant route again, and instead, a quick just stop, turn around. And the Chiefs love to run these plays where just Travis Kelce, Rashee Rice over the middle, just find a little bit of space, turn around, catch the ball, keep moving. Instead, turns, pivots the other way, easy money on that play. And again, that route running right there, this was one of the best routes I think Rashee Rice ran all season last year. Again, limited film with only playing really 3 games last season with the knee injury. But those 2 plays right there, and especially that last one, I want to go back to this one more time just to watch the play, because I remember breaking this down week 1 and just absolutely beautiful. You have 2 guys on the outside just turning around pretty much. If there's something, if there's nothing over the middle of the field, quick, easy check down for Mahomes. You got 2 guys running about 15 yards in on the top side here, and then Xavier Worthy taking the defense deep on that side. They don't need it. They have this easy play to Rashee Rice, money, and again, the short route running game of Rashee Rice is absolutely wonderful. This view gives you a better look, and I guess it's the other linebacker. You got Roquan Smith over there instead of 40, who was covering him on the last play that we saw. All right, going to week 3 in Atlanta now. Let's just work off of what we've shown them. We're going to get 2 go routes at the bottom of your screen right here, creating a little bit of space for Rashee Rice to kind of break a little bit in, kind of another route where it looks like he's kind of just going with a crosser underneath, but instead he's pretty much just going to sit down at around this area. Quick little flat route right here for a check down, and then on this side we're going to stay in the block and then go out for another little check down for Mahomes basically on this play. But again, Rashee Rice able to show off a little bit deeper route running now in this one. Just quick turnaround, splits the defenders. Mahomes, the best quarterback in the NFL, fits it in a tight window. Rashee Rice makes one hell of a juke right here. Gets a little bit of yak yardage on that one as well. And it showcases really everything that Rashee Rice can do. So not only, we saw week 1, a lot of slants, a lot of short routes, and the playmaking ability right there is there for Rashee Rice. So one more time, we'll go back to this. You get 3 receivers to the right side. You have 2 tight ends on this play being check downs. That might be Carson Steele at the top of the screen. But again, just sits down in the zone. I feel like Rashee Rice, just from watching his game on tape, I feel like he's learned a lot from Travis Kelce in the receiving game. And what a great move right here. He plays that up great. Like, hey, I'm just going to try to run through where you guys are at. Obviously, I had to stop for a second to catch the ball. Go straight through. You got a defender straight in front of you. 2 converging on each side. What are we going to do? Whoop, back juke. Perfect. Right across the 50-yard line for the Chiefs on this play. Big play on Sunday Night Football. And again, the Chiefs just working off what they've already shown, and I think this is part of what makes Andy Reid's offense so good, so complex, is that, they build through the season to get to where they're at, and then get to the postseason and we'll show you something brand new, essentially, or we'll do more of the same. Like I said, the Hollywood Brown plays on the first drive against the Buffalo Bills. They ran exactly what they were running basically against the Baltimore Ravens week 1, just substituting Rashee Rice, who of course was out to an injury, with Hollywood Brown in there. This week 3 game against Atlanta, we're going to get one of Andy Reid's favorite plays in the entire playbook. We're just going to get a deep crossing route right here. And Rashee Rice isolated this time at the top of your screen instead of being a part of this bunch, which we've seen a lot in this film breakdown already. And again, just deep crossing route. You're going to get one guy to go deep on this side to cross. Rashee Rice comes the other way across the field. And then you're going to get one fly route to try to clear that out. Noah Gray, short little motion right here. Comes back out, just runs a little flat route. Have something to be a check down if nothing works downfield on this play. Exactly what they want out of the defense on this play with the deep crossing route. You're just getting man cover 2. So just straight man coverage across the board. You got 2 deep safeties here that helps them get this route and helps that fly route really clear out kind of the top. And then with the crossers, they're crossing in front of these safeties. So it really is just the perfect look for this play for the Kansas City Chiefs, because really at no chance does Rashee Rice's man have a opportunity to really make a play right here, as Rashee Rice stays in front of him, has an open window pretty much the whole way, gets across the field, gets past the linebacker that's covering or, going towards the flat to cover, gets across there on the other side of the field. Absolutely great play for the Kansas City Chiefs right here. And again, one that Andy loves to run. He loves the deep crossers here in Kansas City. But again, shows the versatility of Rashee Rice, because we saw a lot of the short game in week 1 and then really got to see Rashee Rice flourish a little bit more in these other games, in some other, opportunities going a little bit deeper. I think against Baltimore, the pass rush and how good, their defense can be in Baltimore was, the emphasis was on quick plays to get the ball out. Right here, though, Mahomes just has enough time to get that ball out. And, I mean, look at that throw. Perfect placement. Drops right in the basket for Rashee Rice, right past his defender, over the linebacker. Absolutely beautiful play for Rice in that game in Atlanta. And again, we're going to show off a little bit more of the deep route running and the skills that Rashee Rice possesses that I really do think could break him into a top 10 conversation in 2025. Play I have queued up for the Rashee Rice film breakdown comes to us from week 2. A little bit of a tendency breaker, but also, like I said, week 1 we saw a lot of slant game from Rashee Rice in the slot, short route running, and I think this is a little bit of a tendency breaker for the Kansas City Chiefs, because you don't see a ton of really, just fly routes and all that stuff of what they're going with, and they haven't had the personnel to do it the last few years. I think the Chiefs offense, a lot of the talking points around them is that they just haven't been good throwing the ball deep. Well, I mean, when you don't have the personnel to do it, it's hard to, get it done effectively. So we're going to have Rashee Rice alone at the top of the screen. He's just running a deep fly route. Xavier Worthy on the bottom of the screen is going to do the same thing. Kelsey kind of just on a deep post here, which I don't know if Kelsey really runs traditional routes at this point. You got Pacheco to stay in to block for a second. Obviously, if you watch the Kingsley Suamataia breakdown, he had a lot of trouble in this game, which, if you didn't watch my breakdown, you probably know he had a lot of trouble in this game anyways. But Pacheco stays in to help, then kind of runs a little flat route just for a check down. Same thing over here with Noah Gray, just quick check down. But they don't need it on this play. They're going to see the exact same thing that they had just saw in Atlanta, and it's going to be just a cover 2 man right here. You got man coverage, a couple of deep safeties here that don't do their job on this play. You'll see in a moment what I'm talking about. Over the middle, though, more of just a zone. The middle linebacker ends up letting Kelsey go to the deep part, which may be why the safety was hesitant to go over and help on this play, because, first of all, the release. Let's watch this release one more time. Show you what I'm looking at just right here. Just watch the top of the screen and the release because that's going to make this play right here for Rashee Rice. Releases inside, steps back to the outside, and I mean, he's got him by a step at that point. Safety, nowhere to help. Mahomes has already got the ball off. Deep touchdown on the fly route. I mean, again, just showing you like the little things of what is making Rashee Rice stand out. And, you know, like I said, I think he can break into that conversation of top 10 receivers in the league. Obviously, you know, top 5, there's some really good guys up there, and we'll see the progression of Rashee Rice this season and what he develops into. And of course, he, you know, the legal problems, he'll probably be suspended at some point this year, but I do think that he can be definitely in the conversation just for simple things like that, of that release that we showed you. Couldn't see it here. We'll go back to it one more time. Don't see much, but he just beats his man. And a good effort over there, which we did see an amazing interception from the Cincinnati Bengals, Cameron Taylor-Britt in this game. That one right there does not get the job done again. And you see it right here. Go back to about the spot where, again, let's look at Kelsey in the middle now. Gets past the linebacker, and he's kind of in no man's land too. Now, Mahomes has already thrown the ball, but Kelsey would have been wide open on this play if not. And Mahomes just makes the right read right here. Mahomes has already released the ball here, but you see, I mean, there's 3 different guys that are pretty much open right here. Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy on the bottom of your screen, and Travis Kelce. I want to get a little bit closer look of kind of when Mahomes is throwing, because already kind of in throwing motion, he's looking to the left side, so the safety over here on the bottom half is already kind of looking that way. And I would say, you know, we talked a little bit earlier about the respect for Xavier Worthy's speed, and I don't think that they really respect that right here with the Bengals, because you've got already a step on Xavier Worthy already has a step on the defense over here. Same thing with Rashee Rice, and then kind of over the middle already open for Kelsey, which Mahomes is staring this down at this point, because I did want to look at the eyes real quick of Mahomes, kind of where he's looking during this play. He does kind of stay to the middle of the field. So he pretty much holds the safety off of Rashee Rice until he is ready to throw, bounces up, and Rashee Rice is gone at that point, has no chance. Don't want to turn it into a Patrick Mahomes film breakdown, but hey, when you have the best quarterback in the league, it does make it a little bit easier on you as a wide receiver. So let me know in the comments below what you think about Rashee Rice's 2025, what we'll see out of him. Can he break into the top 25? Let me know in the comments below. Chiefs Kingdom, is he already there? I mean, I don't think that necessarily he's there. Obviously, he was hurt last year, but just going to the film room and actually seeing what he can do, I mean, there's a thought process. I think that he could definitely break into the top 10 in 2025 for him, but who do you want to see next to? Let me know in the comments below. Xavier Worthy, I think, is the next one that will be on the list that I want to break down in the film room. And then after that, I'm not 100% sure. George Karlaftis is a thought for me. Leo Chanel is another guy that I think his contract is coming up. I think it'd be interesting to look at him. I did that. I did a film breakdown on him last off season. So not 100% sure where I want to go after the Xavier Worthy breakdown. So help me out. Who do you guys want to see in the film room and see me break down? So with that being said, that is it for the Rashee Rice film breakdown. Let me know what you guys think about Rashee Rice, and I will see you in the next film breakdown.